12:21. Well, it's getting close. The next day, we stealthily regroup after school to figure out our next course of action.
どうする？リリー先生捕まえて吐かせるか？
Excuse me? He'll just play innocent. Even worse, they'll know what we're up to. Mr. Lily is quite possibly our biggest suspect right now. She might not be directly involved with the coming apocalypse, but it's obvious she knows something and is hiding it from us.
爆弾が仕掛けられるんだろ？片っ端から取り外していけばいいじゃねえか。
I've tried. Whoever the culprit is always goes back and resets them in different places.
そんなに見つけづらいものなのかい？
They're about this big. I give a brief description of the bombs in question.
そんなコンパクトなのにすげえ威力なのか。気になるな。
I usually get the ones in the shopping district, but the park and the schools are so big I can't find them in time.
学校の連中を総動員するとか。集まってくれるかな。
Yeah, but like, you don't want your information to be leaked, wouldn't you? Would you? The other problem is I have no idea when they're set to go off. They probably won't detonate earlier than usual. We're stuck on the defensive, and the conditions are overwhelmingly against us.
カメラでも設置したろか。
Oh, that's a good idea.
でも私たちに用意できるカメラなんてせいぜい数台だな。
Yeah, maybe not. Also, the horses panic before the sea of flames.
馬って馬車の？
Yeah, the horses and the donkeys break loose from the stables and run wild through the streets.
子羊が馬の封印を解放する。ヨハネの黙示録通りだね。
Things only get worse once they're free, although there's not much we can do about it. With the carriages running same as usual, it's hard to imagine the horses rampaging through town.
3人でクリスマスに見張ってりゃ現行犯でとっちめらんねえかな。
It might work, but it might not. At the very least, we've never been able to catch them before.
馬を解放するというならその現場は抑えられそうだけど。
We go over our strategy for Christmas Day.
今は犯人探しをしていられる時間がない以上実害の方を抑えるしかないか。
The way things are, we have no hope of stopping them. Our only hope is to figure out any possible countermeasures we can take. If it comes down to it, then I've got a possible solution, an escape route.
逃げ道？
You already know what it is, Kyrie. The Aurora's Achilles heel.
オーロラの激励。
I heard about it from Kyrie's own mouth. I'm sure even Kyrie would be shocked to know it actually exists. Oh, sorry, thought.
ってなんだそりゃ。
What? Come on, you're the one who told me about it. You had no idea it was true or not, though.
いや、私そんな話した覚えねえけど。
I'm not saying you told me about it this time, but you did at some point.
知ってることね。オーロラの激鱗？ちょっと聞いたことないかな。
Wait, seriously? I could have sworn it's what everyone's been talking about recently.
そりゃシュウが広めてるんじゃねえの？
Nobody would believe something like that from me. But seriously, what's going on? I'm pretty sure I found the passageway with Salkia, and Kyrie definitely knows about it too.
ほら、昨夜も聞いたことあんだろ？オーロラの激鱗の噂。はて、何のことでしょう。
The Aurora's Achilles heel.
竜の鱗には一枚だけ逆さまのやつが混じってるって言うだろ？
It's a very common trope. I don't know why. I don't know who originated that trope. That dragons and other scaled beasts, other scaled mythical creatures have one upside down scale that is their weakness.
だからよ、街を囲っているオーロラにも竜の激鱗みたいな一部分があって、そこが剥がれるって話だ。
She did say it, right? I'm starting to doubt myself. Time-wise, I swear the conversation happened around now. Even if the conversation we had never happened, I know for sure the path that leads to Hokkaido. I'm sure of it. All I'm trying to say is we at least have an escape route if things go horribly wrong.
シュウ君が今までに講じてきた策は対応されている可能性が高いと。
You're right, but we won't know until the day of. There's still a lot I don't understand. Still, I'm relieved this reality is... I've relived this reality so many times that the patterns of events and the pattern of events has never deviated that significantly. It might be a matter of how prepared we are, but even if this doesn't happen on Christmas, we're still the victims here. It's not that I sympathize with our unseen foe, but more like I recognize we're at their mercy. They can easily change the date of the attack, or plant bombs in the forest or in people's homes. If all bets are off, then we'll have we'll have a hell of a time defending ourselves. I assume they've got some logical reason why they haven't done that yet.
キリエ、どう思う？どう思うっつうか、別に普通のことじゃね？
What do you mean?
わざわざクリスマスに日付を合わせたり、同じ方法で街をぶっ壊す理由だろ？
Yeah, what could it be?
決まってんだろ。美意識だよ。
Aesthetics. Carrier's simple statement pierces my thoughts. Aesthetics?
ヨハネの目視録に合わせて行動を決めるようなやつならなおさらだ。誰がどう考えてもそっちの方が美しい。
I guess that makes sense. After hearing Kyrie refer to this situation as normal, I can't view it any other way. It's an eye-opening concept to me. I can understand and hypothesize about it, but I never thought it might fit into the town's social norms.
私もキリエに同意見だ。特に難しく考える必要はないんじゃないかな。
So it's normal to commit crimes based on aesthetics?
何が普通かといえば、まず自分の手で終末を起こすこと自体が普通じゃないけれど。
I mean, like, isn't the graffiti aesthetic or whatever?
どうせやるなら綺麗に済ませないと意味がね。ただむちゃくちゃやったってストレス解消にしかならんだろう。破壊の美学を歌うなら美しく壊さないと意味がないよね。
This is clearly a fundamental fundamental point of view that I can't hope to learn having lived here for less than a month. Doing, creating, subtracting, destroying. All behavior is motivated by an underlying concept of beauty. Even if it's morally reprehensible. No. Are they doing it because of the moral implications? An act that is morally wrong, but aesthetically right. Only someone living here in this town born with the moral obligation to create art could understand it. The creation of beauty transcends any great morality. Even now, I've been viewing the situation through the eyes of an outsider. If a common belief exists that the town is a canvas, then there lies significance in its destruction. Despite my own views, if Kotaha and Kyrie don't view it as extraordinary, then it's not.
週末の時なんて歌うなら華やかにやらねえとな。録画されててもおかしくねえ。
That's it. I impulsively grabbed Kyrie's hand. Why'd you pout like that? That's it. That's it exactly. I found a way of viewing all of this.
おう、別に普通のことしか言ってないけどな。
Are you mad because are you mad because are you mad because she was grabbing Kyrie? Wait, what am I saying? Is she mad at Kyrie, or no? Is she mad at Shu because of Kyrie, or is she mad at Shu because it isn't Kotaha? What am I saying? Aesthetics. I think that's the key to catching them.
おい、感動してるのはいいけど、琴姉がすごい目つきでこっち見てるぞ。
Oh?
どうして私じゃなくキリエの手を握ってるのかな?
Okay, there's my answer. It's clear I hurt her feelings. Her reaction is pretty cute. I'm sorry. She makes a show of holding both hands out in my direction. Squeeze, squeeze. Okay, that bumped her up.
帰っていい?
Sorry. I forgot the teehee. Thanks to Kyrie, I have managed to find a ray of hope. Now able to view the situation from a different angle, I can come up with a new strategy. I want to go over the plan the day of. If we're going to get through the apocalypse without the world ending, I'll need their specific perspectives. $12.22. 3 more days. 4 more days, I guess. If you're counting the 22nd as one. It's Saturday. I've been in the atelier helping Kotaha with her art piece since the morning.
よかった。なんとか間に合いそうだ。
Sorry for dumping so many corrections on you at the last minute.
いいんだよ。ちょっとした色合いの違いも大事なんだし。
Kotaha's painting is finally nearing completion. Thanks in part to my help midway through, her finished piece is like nothing I've ever seen before. Her painting matches my image of what a city in the outside world looks like perfectly. It's filled with multitudes of buildings, much taller than anything here in town. Oops. There are cars driving through the streets, and numerous people strolling on the sidewalks. Since people here have no idea what a car even is, I offered the best description I could based on my own memories. Unable to give her a detailed description, it's hard to say how accurate her rendition is, but they're better than horse-drawn carriages. Oh, okay, I guess it makes sense that they would have that before Christmas, but sure. It's the day of the culture festival.
ではこれより第22回聖アレイヤ学院文化祭を開催いたします。皆様どうぞお楽しみください。
That was loud as shit. Mr. Lily announces the start of the festival through the Academy's intercom system. I've relived this many times before. Time to start the show. I can handle this much. I know nothing very exciting happens before noon. Leaving my exhibit, I purposefully head somewhere very specific.
Shu-kun, いらっしゃい。
How's it going, Kotaha?
賛否両論。
I figured. Kotaha's festival piece, Untitled, is a landscape painting not of the town, but of the outside world. It's precedented not only because of the taboo theme itself, but also due to the lack of even one attribute.
ただ、妙に説得力があるなんてことも言われた。シュウ君のおかげだね。
If that's true, then I'm happy to hear it. I'm still surprised they allowed her to display her painting to begin with. It wouldn't surprise me if the school cracked down on any art that they felt was profane. Maybe that's why she wasn't allowed to name her artwork.
他のみんなのところも見て回ろうか。
You don't have to stay here. You don't have to stay here.
多分。やっぱりせっかくの文化祭だから、シュウ君といろいろ見て回りたいし。
Okay then. Until now, I've enjoyed walking around by myself, or with my friends, but it'll be even better with Kotaha by my side. The festival happens once a year, which is why I want to spend it with someone special.
でも、シュウ君は今までにも文化祭を経験してるってことだよね。
Well, more or less. In fact, I've already seen her painting, and I've already watched Koto Ranges. Until now, though, I've only hung out with you during lunch, which is why today is so special.
そっか。どこか見たいところとかある？
How about Koto Ranges?
ほら。
She smacked me. Is that a no?
ダメというか、恥ずかしいというか。シュウ君、内容分かってて言ってるだろう。
Oops.
ダメというか、恥ずかしいというか。
Oh, okay, never mind. I pressed entered at the perfect time. Enter. But the Koto Ranges and Kotozilla are so cute. I'm kind of relieved to see her act kind of embarrassed. It makes sense though. We still have time before the next screening. Let's go see how the others are doing.
コトハ、日周、 ようこそ。
評判はどう？
上々だが、どうだろうな。お前に勝てなければ意味がない。
今回の作品はモチーフからして受けが良くないし、心配ないと思うよ。
琴葉の絵、あれは正直素晴らしかった。非常に挑戦的だ。
先生方はみんなしかめっ面してたけどね。
I wonder why.
ああ、バカップルのお二人ですね。
That's not what we are.
手をつないで歩いていたとの情報がどこから漏れたんだろう。
It's not like we're hiding it, so probably no one.
適当に言っただけなのに当たってたみたいですわ。
She's jealous because she's mad at Kotaha for getting to shoot first. Sakuya looks slightly annoyed.
昨夜の展示は盛況だね。小さい子たちもいっぱい来てるみたいだし。はい、みんな楽しんで来てくれて作った甲斐があります。
Her classroom is filled with a multitude of clothes that she made herself. Plus, there's a fitting room so anyone can try on whatever they want. I can see why it's popular with women and children. There are children? That implies there's parents. So where are their parents? Do their parents fucking disappear after they get into high school or whatever? Considering the collection is dominated by fashionable outfits and cosplay. Or are the kids all orphans?
シュウ先輩はこれなんかどうですか？フリフリ付きレオタード。
Absolutely not.
これとかもなかなか派手だね。コトピンクの衣装に比べれば派手ではないと思いますが。
Her face instantly turns red. Oh, right. You made all the costumes for Koto Ranger, right?
全部同じ寸法だったので数の割に楽だったんですが、まさか全部琴葉先輩が着るとは思いませんでした。
Sometime after.
こうして悪は去った。正義のヒーローコトレンジャーは正義のために明日も戦う。
I was like, are they gonna skip straight to the explosions? No, that I got too excited too early. I was like, oh wait, never mind. It's Koto Rangers. The audience breaks out into a round of applause. Second screening of Koto Rangers Beauty Squad has come to a successful end. And Kotaha, who's sitting next to me, is getting quite a lot of attention from the audience.
ちょっと早く出るよ、シュウ君。
But they're still clapping.
いいから。
She yanks me up from my seat.
そこにいるのが今回のメインキャスト、コトネーだからな。みんな応援してやってくれよ。
All eyes are on her, whether she likes it or not. It's not really that surprising considering she was the main actor in the entire film. She was the only actor, in fact.
今のが3回目のラッパか。
After watching Koto Rangers, we head over to Main Street. Being Christmas Day, we are certain things we have. There are certain things we have to be on the lookout for.
馬車はまだ普通に運転されているようだね。
Everything seems quiet, things don't usually start to take a turn for the worst until after the fourth trumpet, when the horses break loose. The carriages aren't usually available at night. By setting the horses free when they should be resting, the town quite quickly descends into chaos. That's right. The trumpets always sound out right before something goes wrong. While talking to Kyrie and Kotaha 4 days ago, you know, I had an idea. This is going to sound crazy, but just listen.
聞くよ。
It's pretty nuts, actually. And I wouldn't call it a countermeasure, but regardless. What if we stopped the trumpets from sounding? Wouldn't it be great if we could somehow break the pattern of events with minimal effort?
ラッパを。あ、それくらいなら確かにできそうだけど。
The crime matches the events detailed in Revelation. If it's all about aesthetics, like Kyrie said, then the trumpets play a significant role. Up until now, I'd always viewed it as just coincidence, for dramatic effect and nothing more. I always placed importance on the events themselves while ignoring the trumpets.
決まってんだろ。美意識だよ。
The way Kyrie talked about it, like the concept was so clear. Perhaps the idea of aesthetics is actually far more important than I give it credit for. If this is supposed to be the second coming of the apocalypse from 101 years back, then following Revelation exactly is imperative. Yeah. Their plans won't necessarily be logical. In fact, knowing exactly what atrocities they're capable of means I have to take a more illogical approach. After all, logic and art mix just as well as oil and water.
ラッパを鳴らしているのは楽団の人たちだ。もちろん何人かいるけれど。
We'll wait for them to leave their performance space before making our move. Are you gonna fucking steal the trumpets? As the sole student at the academy who could play the organ, I know the students don't study music. The band is comprised of adults only, and they only get together to play on Christmas.
あーっせ。3度目のラッパ。14時だな。ちょうどか。
Thanks for meeting us. I know you two are busy with your own exhibits.
別にいいけどよ。まだ何するか聞いてねえっていうか。
男3人。何も起きないはずはないか。
私もいるけど。
So here's the deal. Ordinarily, I wouldn't dream of asking you to do something like this, but just desperate times calls for desperate measures. What I'm about to ask them to do is flat out wrong by any standards.
泥棒
It was a joke. You know what? There isn't really any other way to do it, so I guess.
声がでかい。
泥棒
I didn't mean say it again in a quieter voice.
まあ、混乱する気持ちもわかるけどね。
しかもラッパをくすねてくるってどういうことなんすか。琴葉さんに頼まれるのも意味がわからないし。
I don't want to bore you with the details, but we're not stealing them, just borrowing them. We'll return them tomorrow.
ますますわかんねえんだけど。
I can't straight up tell them if we stop the band from playing the trumpets. Their trumpets, we might be able to save the world. The logic is tenuous enough to begin with. Swiping the trumpets is the only idea I have. So how can I convince them to help us?
俺も幼児同様、理由について聞きたいところだが、あまり言いたくはなさそうだな。
I'm sorry.
それにそんなの見つかったらただじゃ済まないだろうしな。
Hey, Yuji, you love bugs, don't you?
え、まあ。あれ言ったっけ？
I got this for you.
これは
He's bribing Yuji. I hand him something. It's a butterfly trapped in ice. I'd specifically gone out to find it on Christmas Eve. I found it at Oneto Lake. This magnificent object could be yours.
なんて怪しい取引なんだ。
Indeed it is. Honestly, we hadn't really planned on bribing them with any sort of reward. It was just a request. If we can get through, if we can just get through today, though, I'll happily give them whatever they want.
もう一度聞くけど、後で返すんだよな。
Yeah, this is only for today. I don't want to damage the trumpets. We just needed manpower, which is why I asked you to.
理由はすげえ気になるけど、シュウと琴葉さんの頼みなら。
理由についてもクリスマスが終わったら話すよ。信じてもらえるかわからないけど。
やれやれ、寮長をこんなことに駆り出すとは。
Sorry. Although we couldn't tell them much, they agreed to help us out of friendship. There was no way Kotaha and I could grab all the trumpets by ourselves, so I really appreciated their help.
さっきちょうど3回目のラッパが鳴った。今なら持ち場を離れているはずだ。
Right. There's no one near the instruments.
せっかくのクリスマスにこんなことするなんて。
I'm sorry.
私が楽団の人たちと話をしてくるから、その隙に全部言っちゃってくれ。
こんな荷台、いつ用意してたんだ。
While Kotaha provides a distraction, we'll grab the 10 or so trumpets, dump them in the cart, and make our escape. We're engaging in outright theft, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
それじゃあ行くよ。
Kotaha, our vanguard, slips toward the members of the band. Arya bandits attack.
気が乗らねえ。
俺は見つかったらすぐにシュウと琴葉を売るぞ。
Shortly after,
疲れた。
it's just that easy. What the fuck happened to the... That was much heavier than I was expecting.
というか、明らかにキーの目で見られていたぞ。大丈夫か？
I'm sure it'll be fine. Even with the trumpets hiding under a silk wrapper, the three guys pelting down the street with the cart in tow is not something you see often on Christmas. Very un-Santa-like.
顔を隠していて助かったな。
どうしてこんなもん持ってんだ、シュウ。
I never thought I'd find a use for the ridiculous glasses and ski mask I brought for Kyrie's pranking operation. Honestly, they'd probably made us stand out more than if we hadn't worn them.
Oi!
Oh, Kotaha, you made it.
うまくいった？
more or less.
超緊張しましたよ、マジで。
私も世間話をしていただけなのに冷や汗が止まらなかったよ。
で、このラッパどうするんだ？
We'd run back to the dorm, but honestly, a pile of trumpets is going to attract attention anywhere. We have to hide them before someone sees us. Let's bring them to my room. Worst case scenario, I'll pretend like I did it alone.
まあ今は文化祭だし、寮に戻るやつも少ないけどな。
That's how we make it through the front entrance without any problems. I want to bring everything in before anyone returns.
シュウの部屋と開けてくれ。
Okay. I use my voice to unlock the door, and we step inside.
久しぶりに入ったけど、物少ねえな、シュウの部屋。
So we should be able to fit all the trumpets.
明日までという期間なら見つかることもないだろうが、戻すのが大変そうだな。
That's if they ever get to return them.
また借り出されるのか、俺たち。
Sorry. At any rate, our trumpet napping operation was a success. All that's left is to see if it will have any effect on the oncoming apocalypse. I don't think it'll make a difference. In any case, hopefully it'll at least scramble things a bit, I think to myself. It's 6 p.m. Having returned to the classroom with my exhibit, I gaze out the window toward Main Street. I don't hear any trumpets. Well, of course not. All the trumpets are in my room. Usually this is around the fifth sounding of the trumpets. When the fifth sounding of the trumpets happens. But no matter how long I wait, there's no blast. There must have been quite a commotion once they discovered the trumpets were missing. I can't go back, so I have no idea what's going on. The festival's over, so I might as well head to the atelier. Despite the various twists and turns that occurred today, we're still holding Yune's birthday party. I've failed so many times before, but that doesn't mean I can't plan for my potential success. Evening.
あ、シュウ、本番うまくいったよ。ありがとね。
Upon arriving at the atelier, I'm greeted by someone who shouldn't be here. Huh? Yune? You're not heading over to the Christmas party?
そのつもりだったんだけど、なんか広場の方で騒ぎになってたから戻ってきちゃった。
What kind of commotion? I bet I know why, but I ask her anyway, just to be sure.
なんかね、広場で楽団の人たちのラッパがいつの間にか消えちゃったんだって。
Yeah, I definitely don't know anything about that. I don't look in my room. What? Are you serious? My reaction is embarrassingly over the top. That's why I did it so embarrassingly over the top.
そうそう。だからね、私と昨夜も見に行っちゃって。完全にやじ馬でしたね。
Wow. I had a feeling we might cause an uproar. I feel a little guilty knowing the band members did nothing to deserve this, but not enough to confess.
白昼堂々ラッパを盗む人物。これは名探偵幼児の頭脳が冴える。
Great acting.
おめえの推理なんか当たりなんねっつの。 実際泥棒なんか珍しいですし、ラッパを欲しがるのもよくわかりません。
They would do what Bart did with the megaphones and stack all the trumpets together and then and then yell into it, so then all of the windows in the town will blow up, will shatter. Yuji's reaction is far beyond anything I thought he would be capable of. I thought he was capable of. I need to find a way to change the subject.
それでね、楽団の人たちもだいぶ慌ててたんだけど。
I bet they would be.
そしたらいつの間にかラッパが帰ってきてたの。
Uh-oh.
皆さん驚いてましたね。
Wow. Wait, what? What did you just say?
だから盗まれたと思ってたラッパがいつの間にか元の位置にあったの。なぜか。親切な人が届けてくれたんでしょうか。
Nah, man. They had backups.
楽団の人がうっかりしてただけかもしれないよね。
All of them, yeah. What a sound theory. Hold on. What? There's absolutely no way. On the heels of that thought, I can't believe they'd go that far. The whole thing sounds pretty intriguing. I'm gonna check it out.
でももう解決しちゃったから。言ってしまいました。
What the hell is going on? Why were his footsteps so loud? The trumpets are back? I swear I didn't hear the fourth or fifth sounding of the trumpets. But to be fair, according to Yune and Sakuya, the trumpets only just reappeared. Wanting desperately to know what's going on, I race toward the main street, and there they are. What is happening? I immediately see the band standing in formation, trumpets in hand. Furthermore, this has to be the sixth sounding. 8 on the dot. Trumpet blast announcing the start of the apocalypse echoes out like always. Well, it's technically the 4th sounding, but going by the time, it's the 6th. Fuck! Rare Shu swear moment. I knew from the beginning this wouldn't be enough to stop anything. But I find it hard to believe they'd go to this much trouble just to stop me. It's that they were able to somehow carry all those trumpets from my room in just a few hours. Could they have had some spares lying around? That's what I'm saying. Like, go to your room, Shu, check wherever the fuck you hid them, and see that they're still there. Unless they aren't there. In which case, I guess the perp knows more about you than you know about yourself. I can't help but be curious over the course of events, despite knowing we're past the point where I can mess with the trumpets anymore. Also, they're gone. Oh my god. All that's left is an empty cart with silk wrapping cloth draped over it. I guess they weren't spares after all. The evidence is clear. Someone stole back the trumpets. It's good to know the trumpets really do mean a lot to whoever is behind all this, but also chilling to realize the lengths they'll go. There's no way Yuji or Gito, who were both involved, could get into my room without me. My immediate feelings are of disbelief. I'd assumed that even if they knew what we were up to, they'd be powerless to do anything about it. Looking closer, I spot a small bulge underneath the silk wrapping cloth. It's not the size of a trumpet. What is this? Pulling back the cloth, I immediately spot a recorder. You've got to be kidding me. Shocked and speechless, I quietly press the button. Man, what the fuck? They've clearly used some kind of voice modulator. Nah, I never would have guessed. The genderless and robotic recitation continues. Right idea. What the hell? They've got some nerve to praise me on my perspective while swiping the trumpets from my room. My anger is at this decisively provocative action is rapidly growing, but there's nowhere for me to direct my rage. I've never once thought of stealing the trumpets during any other timeline, and yet the owner of this mysterious voice easily countered my move anyway. I have no idea if it's a coincidence, or if they'd somehow planned for all of it, but for it all along. There's still hope. This recording is the first official declaration of war I've ever received. I've been working blind until now, but by deliberately showing us their move, they've inadvertently left us a clue. At the very least, this proves that our working theory is correct. What now? The voice still has more to say. Bracing myself for the worst, I wait for the word. I wait to hear what they will say next. This time as well, it's clear the owner of this voice knows I've been reliving the same loop of days over and over. It was right all along. I mean, like, there wasn't any... I mean, like, you've seen a bunch of proof to prove that she was correct. You didn't need confirmation. Did they say underground? Underground? That's clearly what they said. Underground? Are they referring to the locked room? Or the art gallery?
21時44分に開かずの扉が開かれる。以上だ。信じる者は救われる。守るべき者もいるのだろう。では、もう相まみえないことを祈っている。
That's where the recording ends. What the fuck is going on? I finally have a clue as to who my enemy is. I was shocked to receive a recorded message, especially with the vocal modulation, and yet it included a surprising amount of information. The locked door will open at exactly 9:44 p.m. The locked door. The first image that pops into my head is the door to the art gallery. It's a door that's remained stubbornly and inexplicably locked multitudes of times before. I usually head to the gallery sometime past 10, although it was still locked when I went closer to 7. Still, I've never tried opening the door at the time mentioned by the mysterious voice, 9:44 p.m. But more importantly, can I even trust them to begin with? They know about the second coming of the apocalypse, so they must be the person behind it. On one hand, I feel I can trust them since they're orchestrating this chaos, yet the sudden outpouring of advice is likewise suspicious. Still, there's just so much information at once. Everything's a mess. If they took the trumpets and left this recording behind, it means they were here in my room. I have no idea how they managed to do it. Unfortunately, as I am quickly running out of time, I'll have to figure it out later. At any rate, the trumpets really are important, just like I thought. Making sure the second coming follows the Book of Revelation perfectly is an important part to the perpetrator's plan. If I were to profile them, I'd say they had an excessive obsession with aesthetics. To be fair, that's most of the people in this town. With everyone I know so proud of their major, it's only natural the folks here would develop a heightened aesthetic awareness. Kyrie referred it as ordinary, but it wasn't uncommon for folks in this town to value a sense of beauty over logic. Were they somehow able to get my finger or voice prints? Suddenly, I hear a loud commotion coming from outside the dorm. Loud voices in the direction of Main Street. It's a racket I've grown very used to. The sound of horses running wild through the streets.
シュウ君
I knew it would happen.
どういうことなんだあのラッパもすでに戻っているみたいだし
Someone took them from my room, and they left a message in their place. I briefly explained what I heard.
ずいぶん挑発的だね乗るかどうかは微妙なところだけど
We had originally planned on using the art gallery as an evacuation zone. We could come up with something else, but
21時44分
I glanced at my watch. It's 8:30 p.m., so I've got a little over an hour. The final trumpet call is at 10, so a little before then. After the final trumpet call, the bombs scattered around town will detonate, leaving us with no way out. We need to find a safety zone before that happens.
行ってみる価値はある
I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? It's 9:44 p.m., so it's Jesus Christ. It's 16 minutes before the bombs go off, which gives you enough time to check the door if it's actually open. And if not, you just escape in the sewers like you did in Kyrie's route. But why would they go to the trouble of telling us this? It doesn't make any sense. If you look at it in a positive light, perhaps they don't want to sacrifice human life for their ideals. Or maybe they don't want to get caught up in this mess. They don't want me to get caught up in this mess. Both seem rather presumptuous, but it's all I can come up with.
それまではこの混乱を収めようこのままだと怪我人が出る
So the question is, who is fond with explosives and destruction, but doesn't want people to die? The only person I can think of is fucking Rinka. It's like, I guess maybe Sister Lily, right? But like, there hasn't been any hints to her been that sort of way. God damn it. But like, why, right? What's their motive behind destroying the town? I guess the only motive you have is aesthetics. So who really likes explosives other than Kyrie and Rinka, I guess. You're right. Not only do we have to calm down the rampaging horses, but we have to do it before 9:44. It's still a complete mystery what exactly will happen when the time comes. We have no idea if they're telling us the truth or not, but basically yes. I feel Kyrie in on what happened.
なんかすげえ罠っぽい気もするな。
That is a possibility, but there has to be a reason why they left that message for me. We already know the door to the art gallery is sealed shut.
21時44分。時間を違えずに美術回廊の入り口まで来てほしい。
We need to round up Guido, Sakuyo, Yuji, and everyone else as well. Don't forget Yune.
いきなり無茶ぶりだけど、大通りがパニクってんのは確かだしな。とりあえず了解だ。でも、シューと琴音はどうしてんだ？私たちは少し寄るところがある。あと20分しかねえけど。
We'll make it. And so Kotaha and I head to a place we need to go to meet a person we have to see. This is
凛花の部屋だ。
We're standing in front of the room next to Kotaha's on the 4th floor, the room where Rinka used to live.
もちろん中には何もない。ただ、このまま行けば、ここも火に包まれてしまうんだよね。
It's true. After taking her more prized possessions from her own room, we ended up here.
ごめんね。シュウ君のことを疑うわけじゃないけど、このまま何事も起こらなければいいのにって思ってる。
I understand how you feel. I always hoped for the same. At first, I didn't know it was possible for something like that to happen again. But after experiencing the same horror again and again, I came to realize it was inevitable. And with a warning that dire, I fear this time as well.
ヨハネの黙示録第8章6節7人の天使がラッパを吹き、契約のアークが開かれる。今回もアポカリプスは正しく訪れる。あなたにそれを止める手立てはない。
That mysterious voice. I feel like I can't give up in my hunt for who it belongs to. And yet, what's most important to me right now is
シュウ君。
Kotaha, my beloved. I will do whatever I can to keep her safe. I've prepared to sacrifice my life for her.
凛花。いつか君が戻ってくるまで、私もここにいたかったけれど、どうやらもう難しいらしい。だけどね、君はまだどこかで生きてる。簡単にいなくなるようなじゃじゃ馬じゃないって信じてるから。
She speaks while holding the scrap of muse in her hand. The reason behind Rinka's memory loss and proof of the risk she'd taken, putting her life on the line.
私も凛花のようにこの街はどこかおかしいって最近思うようになった。それは君とここにいるシュウ君のおかげでね。
Squeeze. Trembling slightly, she squeezes my hand in hers.
いつか凛花が帰ってきたらシュウ君のことを紹介するよ。私の自慢の彼氏だから。
He's also your only, so... She faces the closed door, speaking clearly. Only a year ago, a voice would have answered from the other side.
私に彼氏なんて言ったらからかわれるかもしれないけどさ。
Is that so?
そうだよ。自分だって男勝りの不良のくせに。
She scowls. Seeing her mimicking the missing girl leaves me feeling happy and jealous at the same time. I never got to meet you, but your performances in Kyrie's films were magical. And Kyrie and Kotaha always talk about what an amazing person you are. I clench my hand into a fist. Although I can make no promises as to what our future might hold, I'll stay by Kotaha's side until the day we finally meet. Cap. Kotaha giggles at my pretty sappy vow.
それじゃあ行こうか、シュウ君。今から歩けば40分には着く。
Okay. The identity of my enemy. The purpose of the apocalypse. None of it matters to me. I would give up this earthly paradise in order to keep her safe. Just like the earth is round, I know I will meet both my unseen enemy and Rika someday. If they aren't the same person, I won't need to reset the loop this time. Because I've got Kotaha by my side, a girl who means everything to me, but not to the game devs, so, you know.
シュウ君、いつまでも私のパートナーでいてね。
I wish I could. Unfortunately. Of course. Thus, the two of us escape the apocalypse, vowing to overcome any future obstacles we may face together. There it is. Wow, that was Kotaha's route. What a route. Hey, what? Look, it's a pretty good route, right? You get to learn a bunch of stuff about not only Kotaha, but also of Rinka and of the town. So, you know, very much relevant to what's going on, right? Gives us a lot of information. Still doesn't answer any of the fucking questions because that's all reserved for the last route, aka Yune's, which is kind of like common route plus. How did the guide describe it? Hang on. Yeah, it just return to common route to continue towards true ending. But before I do that, I have to go through Kotaha's non-romance ending. So, let's get through this, right? There's still more, there's still more to the stream left, right? I'm not gonna leave off with only like, how long have I been recording for? An hour? So, let's just... I respect Kotaha. Boring. Why would I not choose the romance route? I'll tell you why. Because the game doesn't want you to. Because the game hates you. only wants you to pick Yune or Sakuya.
ねえねえシュウ
But that works out for me
なんか
because I like
コタさんと一緒に
Sakuya.
歩いてなかった
But the next question is how different is it from her romance route? Because there were some parts in Kyrie's romance route that were a bit different. So considering how much we're skipping, there doesn't seem to be much different. So I'm a bit saddened by that. Well, saddened might not be the right word. More like disappointed. That works out better. But Christmas Day, right? It's Christmas time, guys. Can you believe it, guys? Christmas. It's today. Okay, it stopped the skipping for some reason. Okay. It's 9:44 p.m. and the door to the gallery is open. Being fireproof, the art gallery is the only truly safe space in town. If we do this right, we might be able to save everyone in town. Might being the operative word. I should be ready. Should we really be doing this? Rinka learned about the coming of the second apocalypse 2 years ago. 1 year ago, Rinka went missing, leaving everything she learned with Kotaha. Then, this year, I get to experience the foretold horror firsthand. I still don't understand anything. Who's behind this? What is their motive? I even received a rather incendiary message from the culprit themselves. After everything we've been through and discovered, it seems wrong to simply run away from it all. After all, I promised Yune I would protect the town, and there's no way I can prevent that town's destruction. I can prevent the town's destruction if I choose this path. Once Christmas is over, there's no going back. I have to decide now if I retreat or persist. And most importantly, what my true goal is. Okay, here it is. Right? You save here as well. Right? Can't forget to save here. Because the non-romance route chooses to accept my fate, but, you know, there's a different option, so I will choose to not accept it. And then, fucking, everything goes tits up. I will not accept my fate. I see Kotaha running toward me, followed by a crowd of students.
とりあえずみんなには先にギャラリーの方まで向かってもらったよ。それでシュウ君どうかした？
Kotaha, I'm so sorry, but I can't let things end like this. Hearing how I truly feel, a look of shock crosses her face as the meaning of my words sinks in.
そっか。もう一度ってことだね。
Yes, you taught me so much, Kotaha. I just couldn't save us in time. I'd had so much fun spending it every day with her that I'd let time slip without realizing it. There's a part of me that desperately wants to stay here with her. Yet I cannot let Yune and Rinka's hopes unanswered. Leave Yune and Rinka's hopes unanswered. This is my fault. I just wasn't good enough yet again.
しょうがないな、シュウ君は。
She chuckles to herself, almost bitterly, when she hears my decision. Yeah.
何でも一人で抱え込まないの。そんなの私の責任でもあるんだから。
Softly, gently, she embraces me.
今のシュウ君と会えるのはこれがもう最後なんでしょ。じゃあこれくらい
Oops.
いいよね。
Yeah, we did. The warmth from her embrace is almost maternal. She's only slightly shorter than I am, and yet, in that moment, feels infinitely taller. I'm so sorry.
泣いちゃダメ。今の私たちが別れてもまた会えるんだから。ね。
It's all wrong. This should be the opposite. I should be the strong one. I'm the only one who's resetting Kotaha and the timeline for my own reasons. I'm the one who's resetting Kotaha and the timeline for my own reasons.
もしリンカがいたらきっとシュウ君と同じようにしてたと思うよ。だから気にしないで。
Yeah, see, here's the thing, right? It can't be Rinka, but like it could be a red herring because like we've been hearing from all these people that Rinka would never do something like this, or well, we're led to believe that, and then it turns out that she is the one who does that, who does it. Okay, Kotaha, but I promise I won't forget anything you taught me.
よしよし。今までも辛かったんだよね。何も助けてあげられなくて。
This is the third time I've done this. He strokes my head gently, as if I were a child. All my pent-up emotions come pouring out. This isn't the time. I can't keep clinging to her like this. I'm the only one who can save Kotaha, the people in this town, and the town itself in the truest sense of the word.
絶対にうまくやってね。誰も悲しまないように。シュウ君ならきっとできるよ。
Leave it to me. I'll do whatever I can to make everyone safe. Make sure everyone's safe. Our final farewell was inevitable. Even if she forgets the time we shared in December, even if she forgets the time we share in December, will live on in my flesh and blood.
あ、でも私の裸を見たことは忘れていいからね。
What? Sorry, it's burned into my memory.
もう
Acting as if she's scolding a bratty kid, she giggles. It really is too good for me. Farewell, Kotaha. I'll see you again very soon.
待ってるね。うまくいったらその時の私にも今日のことを教えてほしいな。
I will. And happily. Parting is such sweet sorrow. But this goodbye is necessary, so we might properly reunite later. Turn back. I call out to the miraculous apple I ate that day. Time. With that, I once again find myself back in the intermezzo subspace. Escrito. I don't know how that's pronounced. An allegory of winter and wheels.
シュウ、戻ってきた。
Okay, maybe I should have expected that, but okay, this kind of fucks things up. But before we continue on from that, let's go back and accept fate. Or whatever the next other option. I accept my fate. There's nothing else I can do. Even after everything I've been through, I still couldn't change the course of fate. I guess sometimes you have to accept things the way they are. At least this time, the perpetrator themselves gave us a way out. We still had the Aurora's Achilles heel, or Kyrie's tunnel to fall back on if all else failed. This won't stop the impending apocalypse, but I'm tired of having to relive the same loop again and again.
シュウ君、お待たせ。大丈夫？
I'm fine. Let's go. At 9:44 p.m., we head to the art gallery. I have to believe that we'll get in. As long as I'm alive, I can escape from here. There are countless life choices waiting for me from December 26th onward. I might not be able to reload from the save point anymore, but that's how life works anyway. Yeah, who would have guessed? Yeah, but like, how does that work? He's like, I won't be able to turn back time again. But like, we already know that the power of the apple works in the art gallery. The only reason the other two ways of them escaping didn't work out is because they actually leave the Aurora, right? In Sakuya's route and Kyrie's route, they both leave the Aurora. That's why the apple doesn't work, because there's a barrier around the Aurora where the apple's power works or whatever. But yeah, I guess, yeah, sure, whatever. But there's still more. And I don't know why it took me so much time to say that, but you know, we're still not finished, right? We've gone through most of the routes. We've got one route left, which is technically still the common route. But this is only for the YouTube, right? You know, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next route / the continuation of the common route.